Hi guys, welcome back for another one. Now today's video is a top 10 on characters that aren't as good as they should be. So you have to let me know by the end of this video, did your character make the list? If not, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'm going to put out a warning right now. I did forget Iron Man on this list, and I do believe he should be included. I'm just getting that out of the way right now because he is not going to be on this list. Sorry, somehow I overlooked him, but without further ado, if you're ready for it, sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Alright guys, so we're kicking this countdown off with number 10, and that is Namor. Now Namor does have a good following, not as popular as some of the other characters you're going to see appear on this list, but someone who does have some lore within the comic community. Now, what can they do with him? Honestly, at this point, it's just make him have more standalone ability than having synergy with Fantastic Four, and also change his alt so it just doesn't include the war. He has been a little power crept. I think that alt can be just as useful in raids and in blitz, just like it is in war. And if you guys have an opinion on how they can make Namor better, along with any other characters that I appear on this list, please let me know in the comments down below, as I'm interested what your opinions are. Moving on to number 9, the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes. Now, with Falcon the Winter Soldier debuting next week on Disney+, this character is going to gain some popularity by people who don't know the comic books but yet watch the MCU. And one of the fun facts I have here about the Winter Soldier is he actually has the lowest resistance in the game. So it means out of all the characters, you need someone to catch a debuff, your guy is the Winter Soldier. Give it to him, spread it to everybody. But in all seriousness, he could definitely use a boost of stats and maybe some synergy with Falcon. And with all that said, let's move into number 8. And at number 8 is my very first combo, Sabretooth and Pyro. And yes, I'm well aware that's not Pyro's graphic and his name, I just couldn't find one. So I used what I could find. But anyways, yes, these guys could definitely use some buffs. They're definitely getting past. Everyone knows how squishy Pyro is, and if you need to know how squishy he is the 4th lowest character in the health pool, which means several minions in this game have more of a health pool than Pyro. And Sabretooth has the 3rd lowest resistance in the game, which means another character, if you need someone to catch a debuff and spread it to the rest of the Marauders, Sabretooth is your guy. And honestly, I'm hoping they release more Marauder characters so that way Sabretooth can migrate his way back onto Brotherhood, and maybe we can have multiple Brotherhood teams. Just wishful thinking by me, just because I'm a big fan of both of these characters from the comics, and I would love to see them both back on Brotherhood someday. At number 7 is Yondu. Yes, Yondu. This guy, I'm not asking for a rework on the Ravengers. Actually, I'm not really asking for a rework at all on any of these characters. I'm just saying it'd be nice if you guys did this for the newer players that join this game and will stick around because they can use their favorite characters from the MCU or the comics. This would be nice if he's got a rework even as a standalone character, or even reworks to work with StarLord at a minimum. And at number 6, the first one that I'm grouping together as Guardians of the Galaxy. Now there is no StarLord here because StarLord will be number 5 and I will talk about him separate. But these characters overall, if you just go to msf.gg, look at the stats, filter to the lowest, and go in each category and look to see who's on the bottom, I can guarantee you at one point or another, each one of these characters will appear as the lowest character in that given stat. Overall, they're just getting so power crept in this game that I literally target these characters more than I target defenders. I think they could all just use some love, get them back into, not even have to be the meta, just get them back in the mix where they're not like a team that I constantly target in blitz. Now it's time to get into that character that I talked about at number 5, and that is the legendary StarLord. Yes, I actually found a graphic that actually said legendary StarLord. So here's the thing about StarLord. Now, I was one of the very first content creators to come out and say that skip StarLord, just skip him. And at the time, it wasn't very popular, but over time, more people have jumped on that bandwagon. And the main reason why I always said skip him is because he's unreliable a character in the late game. Very squishy in the late game, and his blinds, his special, don't land most of the time because his focus is terrible to today's meta. In fact, you can clone a StarLord with Sinister and have a better StarLord. StarLord's focus is less than 60% of Mr. Sinister's focus, which means when you clone a StarLord with Sinister, the focus is better and those blinds actually land. If that don't scream this character needs a rework, I don't know what else does, and his battery charge no longer makes up for the shortfalls of this character. And I think this is the only character, because I forgot Iron Man, of a legendary that's going to fall on this list. So without further ado, let's get into my more popular characters that I really would like to see a rework for, just for the MCU and comic book fans that are out there that can attract them to this game and retain them playing this game. Number 4, Wolverine. The daily milestone character, probably the very first character everyone will get to 7 stars in this game, assuming you do the daily objectives, and if you're not, why not do them? But anyways, he really needs a rework overall. I like him better as a standalone character than getting buffs from being with Phoenix. And he also has the second lowest resistance in the game. Another character, if you need to land debuffs on someone, give him the Wolverine, because if you sneeze, he's catching a cold. I think it's ridiculous that some of the lowest resistance characters in this game are not minions. Please make this character good again, as he is the favorite by a lot of people in the Marvel universe. Moving on. Number 3, we're grouping Vision and Scarlet Witch together. Yes, so here's the thing. Now Scarlet Witch, she has no armor in this game, which makes the fact that when you hit her, either you do piercing or regular, it's the same amount of damage to her. So nothing like that's going on with her. So she's kind of actually good stat wise, not the greatest, but decent. We'll call her decent. But Vision, though he dodges like crazy when he's the AI, actually has the 8th lowest health pool in the game and the 6th lowest resistance. That's crazy for a character that I think should easily be a meta character in the game. So rework wise, boost the stats obviously, but give these two some synergy together where they could be standalone, kind of like a dad bro. Like, make them a dad bro level synergy. Like, they're obviously never going to be on a team together unless you bring Wiccan and Speed into the game, and then they could have some synergy more. But just saying, as the game stands right now, they're never on the same team, because what the combo they do have is not great. So they do work good for PvE content, but doesn't really work great for players who actually want to put these two characters together. Once again, you're gaining people from watching the MCU, and the MCU puts them together. Just saying, moving on. Number 2, Black Panther and Storm. Honestly, this one's probably more of, I would like to see Storm probably join the Wakandans to be that missing piece. Maybe for the short time, you know, put it there, give that little lore in there for people that are really big fans of Wakanda and would love to see Storm team up with them. And then when you're done with that and you actually have more Wakandan characters in the game, move Storm back to the X-Men, and please make her an important factor of the X-Men team, because right now she's kind of forgettable. She used to be very useful for like storing up charges and then nuking a node, but with content getting harder, she's becoming less of a character that anyone's ever going to use for that kind of content, and she is a very popular character. In fact, my cousin growing up, his favorite character was Storm. My brother's second favorite character growing up, besides Nightcrawler, which was his favorite, was Storm. Storm needs some love. And at number 1, the character that is desperately needing to be closer to the meta for new game players to really fall in love with this game, a very popular character, especially by young people, Spider-Man. Yes, Spider-Man is homeless, which makes him pretty much worthless after you get past the beginning part of the game. He has the 10th lowest health pool, so yes, he does dodge, but when you get your hands on him, it doesn't take too much to clear him off with the newer characters in this game. Now, there was a rumor that he was going to get a team when the Morbius movie came out, which was supposed to be out here in March, but was postponed, you know, thanks to everything going on, to later this year. It could still be postponed even after that. We'll see. But I don't think we can wait the rest of 2021 to get this guy the deserved rework that he really needs. And I don't know if there's a more popular character in this game or in Marvel in general than Spider-Man. And with all that said, that is 10 popular characters in need of a rework. Did I name your favorite character in this video? If I didn't, please let me know who they are in the comments down below. And then do me a huge favor, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new here and have not done so already, hit that subscribe button. And if you don't want to miss the next video that I release on my channel, which will probably be a response to the dev blog, don't forget that notification bell. And with all that said, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye. You don't know what more can be done from. In some cases, I don't know either, right? It's not, I'm not, some I'll have an opinion and some I won't. Some are just like, look, just do something.